I think we're good.
Cool. Thank you guys for joining us on today's episode of the Unemployable Podcast. We have Laura with us today. Thanks for joining us, ma'am.
What's up, man? Thank you for having me. Really appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
Is it Lara or Laura?
You can say it whichever way.
What did you say?
I probably said Laura, but it's probably Lara.
You can say it like
Lara.
It doesn't bother me, honestly.
I think it's cool.
What do you think's cooler?
Lara.
Yeah.
Lara.
It's
Lara.
just
I like that.
Just like Lara Croft.
Tomb Raider.
You guys
Sheesh. Lara the Tat Raider.
Tat Slayer.
want to guess his
That's
first
Tat
name?
Slayer. Sheesh.
I'll give you a hint. His first name starts with an A. See if you can get it.
It's pretty American.
Jeff.
A.
Are you gonna guess?
There's not many A names.
Jeez.
And like you said, it's pretty American-ish. Nothing?
Are you gonna guess?
Yeah,
dude?
guess them all fucking names.
fuck?
It's too early for this. My brain hurts.
Alex, Andrew.
Yeah,
Arnold.
Alex would have been my first guess.
But it wasn't. So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah, you had no guess.
Alex.
no.
No.
Anthony.
Anthony.
There you go.
This is why you're going to thrive. Think on your feet. Or
Well,
your
you
foot.
guessed it? Did you thought about it? Yeah. Hey.
You know what? Take his seat, dude.
Switch. Come on, Logan.
So, we were talking about the anime convention before you walked in, and then when you walked in, and that you said you just started doing some
Yeah.
anime tats, right?
It's been a request for a good minute, but I
Like
didn't
before
wanna,
you even did them.
Yeah. People have been requesting them, but I'm not familiar so much with like the anime, so I didn't want to feel ignorant by doing them.
Yeah.
About something I don't know. So, because there is a lot of little details that take place, you know. So
Yeah.
You know anime.
Yeah.
I don't really do them either. But if I do find myself in that situation, I let them know multiple times that I don't know anime.
I tell them that if they see something like any little detail that I'm mistaken, because sometimes they're like, "Oh, you don't watch it," and they get a little uncomfortable. I'm like, I mean, I've seen enough to know little details. But if you see something that is off, please let me know, because once we start, is there. Like I was doing one this last week, and in one of the bands, it had like a cross symbol, and the other one didn't, and I had them both cross, and somebody else was like, "Yo, just so you know, this is what's going on." I like switch at last minute. So
Nice.
little things like that.
Yeah, that's actually a major
Well,
difference.
because it's tough when you're when you're building the piece, like you're researching, right? And sometimes it's like fan art, or it's like not from the actual. I'll have to like cross reference or check every reference I take from. It's difficult because a lot of it can be.
A lot of the times, like in an anime, it's like all the characters are drawn the same, just with like one key characteristic that's different. But like you take that characteristic away. Well, no, it's usually like one animator, and he draws all of them in a specific style.
Is Pokemon considered anime?
I think
That's the only one I know.
I don't want to even make a comment on that.
Yeah, I don't know. It's in a gray area. It's in a gray. There's some people that will agree, and there's some people that will probably be like, it's been Americanized too much, probably.
All I know is like when I see anime being done in the shop, I go out of my way to compliment them as if it's from a different anime.
Yeah.
Like
What's the reaction
maybe
you get from that?
what?
Seth does that shit.
It's the best,
Seth
bro.
does that shit a
Give
lot.
me a random.
I love
anime.
Dragon
Well, yo,
Ball
I'll
Z,
be
dude.
doing like a fucking Naruto piece, and Seth's like, "Yo, I fucking love Dragon Ball, bro."
Yeah, that's it. Like, oh, dude, what's your favorite Pokemon?
It's like I'm doing Goku. Like,
Yeah, dude. Yeah, whatever. And then most of the time they're so nice. They're just like they just give you
just
that
let
like
it
weird fake Christmas smile, like you know, yeah. You started an argument. We got to be careful because you're not mic'd up, so
Come
no
here,
one can
Logan.
hear what you're
Come here.
saying. And everyone in the comments
speaker.
hates that shit. And by everyone in the comments, I mean me.
Logan's hopping on.
I started an argument between a couple because I was like, "Oh, cool! I love Avatar: The Last Airbender. It's like one of my favorite animes." And the girl was like, "Is it an anime?" And the dude's like, "Yeah, it's definitely an anime."
And then did you walk away?
Yeah, and they started like kind of.
It is like,
and I was like,
it's one of those
I'm
gray
gonna
area
crop this.
ones, though.
Yeah, so I just-
Why? Because it's made by Nickelodeon?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 100%.
Somebody got into it in the comments about the same thing, because that was the very first like full sleeve I did, kind of on this situation, and the caption was like my very first anime sleeve, and the comments just went like, it's not anime, and I was just like,
pull the mic a little closer, a little.
My bad.
No, you're good.
Okay.
Yeah, people always got fucking shit to say in the comments.
The social media.
Yeah, like I'll do like a lot of goddess god pieces, and I'll usually put like Athena themed sleeve.
Okay.
And if there's one detail that doesn't correlate with the mythology or the let's call it fiction, fucking morons, they're all up in the comments, dude.
But I think that's why it's clever that you say the opposite thing, so they really can't go after us. Like, yo, I love Zeus. And
It's just like,
I
like when you're just like just some like you do. It's like just some old dude.
Yeah, or whatever it is. And
there's so many tattoos you can pull from the same reference.
Right. Yeah. But everyone wants to be like the smartest person in the comments, you know? So I try to be the dumbest.
Everyone's
like, hell yeah.
Under their skin.
Especially if they're like, say negative things just about me, which is great. Like, I respect that. Like, I posted tattoo, right?
This
like,
guy's a sexist.
And they're like, fuck this guy, you know? And I'm just like, hell yeah, dude.
I like those people.
Yeah, I like that too. Like, completely look back. Like, if they like, you posted an anime tat and they're like right past the tattoo and they're like, fuck you, Lara. You know, you're like, all right.
I have a lot of people that do that too.
Yeah.
Like, people fucking hate me.
And then you said you were getting hate from the apprenticeship.
I didn't have one.
Right.
So I approached a lot of shops in the Orlando area to get an apprenticeship. But because I was like on and off in town because of playing music, they were like, you have to be here every day for a year. And I was like, well, I'm here for like 3 months, you know.
So you play music?
Yeah, I play music.
And you were doing that, I guess, early on, if this was happening during looking for an apprenticeship. So tell me about that.
I graduated in 2012 and then instantly jumped on, like, being involved in the music industry, like, post-hardcore, metalcore.
Cool.
And I just kind of went out of that because I would leave with money and come back more broke than when I left.
Gotcha.
So, while I was on the road, I saw a lot of artists come out and like tattoo like these people I looked up to in the music industry, and I was just like, that's cool.
Yeah.
Like, but I always been involved on the art aspect since I was a little kid, like painting, drawing. Very often, I would get in trouble at school for not paying attention because I would be drawing throughout the class. And it was just something that was like in the back of my mind until one day I decided to approach a shop, and I got turned down, came back the next month to another shop, got turned down. And then eventually I was just like, I just got irritated because I was like, I know I can do this. And
how long ago was this? Sorry to get you on.
This was like 2014, 2015, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. And I got mad. So I just spent my savings on like getting tattoo equipment, and that's how I have a black arm.
Yeah.
I was like, if I'm gonna fuck something up, like I don't want to fuck it up on somebody else. So I just started practicing on myself, and I think in a matter of 2 weeks I went to this like really terrible shop. I was just like, there's no way these people can turn me down. It was in a bad area, you know, like you see crackheads throughout the whole day.
Yeah,
everything. That's where people go to get like drugs and stuff. I walked in, told the guy, I was like, look, I have the equipment. I'm just trying to tattoo. And he was like, you're hired.
So you got it.
Yeah, it was right off the
Your
rip.
plan worked. Yeah.
So I was like,
so if you're having trouble finding an apprenticeship, look for the crackheads. That's what I'm getting out of this.
Oh my god! I went to a bad area, and I was like, if they turn me down, I'm just gonna keep bugging them. But so I told the guy, I was like, look, I don't have a lot of experience. I've been doing this for like 2 weeks. He looked at me. He goes like, what the fuck? And
you're like, that's way more than everyone else here.
2 weeks is pretty brave.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro. I feel like he took me in because when I walked in, like there was only the owner tattooing, and then the other guy was like in the back.
Was the owner good? Was anyone good? No, it was real bad.
It was just whatever.
Were you the best one there, maybe?
No. I can't even count. Like I was not. Like I couldn't even pull a straight line.
Right.
And then I told him, I was like, look, I'm gonna do cheap tattoos. I still make you money. Like you can take whatever. So what I did was for like 6 months, I would do like half sleeves for like $50.
Yeah.
And I just got like people coming in like, oh, you're doing $50 half sleeves?
Right.
Let's do it. It got me the practice I needed. And once I felt like I was doing it like good enough, I went to like a better shop.
You were just stressed every tattoo,
like,
right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah. Why did I take this on?
So one of the things was like I went in with like rotary machines.
Yeah. Okay.
And, the owner was not about it.
What rotaries back then?
I bought the Spectra Halo.
Yeah.
And that was like the best I could find. I was just like, I think this is the move. I've seen a lot of people use this, so I think this is it.
Yeah, you're like, these fucking $50 half sleeves. I've been had enough.
I think I looked at the price and I was like, yeah, this is the machine. But the owner was not about it. He was just a old school biker, and he was like, coils. That's some pussy shit. Don't bring that in here if it's not coil or whatever. So he gave me a coil machine, and I had to figure that out.
Yeah. Was it like a heavy brass one?
Yeah, and the other thing was that like the lumbar needles at the time for those machines, you need specific tips for your specific needles.
Right.
I had to figure that out like the hard way when I was like there.
Do you know about that? Just like disposable tubes?
No, yeah.
Like if you have a 7, you need a 7.
You need a tube that matches the line. Yeah, if you have a mag, you need a tube.
And like back in the day, you could get a little creative. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if you had to, like you could put a 7 and a 9, or something bigger, or whatever.
Whatever. Extra rubber band.
I like different tips, like diamond tips, like all of these different things, and I was just like overwhelmed by like how much I thought I knew in 2 weeks, and I just get there and crash and burn. I'm like, I don't think this was.
It was probably a lot of like, this is new, let me try it. This is new, let me try it. This is new. And then it's like, do I like this? Do I not? Whatever. Because I remember the first time I got handed a diamond tip, I was like, this is the shit, dude. I'm using diamond hands over here, boy.
I was running like a 3-round liner on like a 14 tube.
Fuck yeah.
So I was fucking shit up bad until I was like, oh, you probably have to match this up. And the owner was like, who gives a fuck? You're charging like $50 for half sleeve, whatever. But I did tell the people that will come get tattooed, I'm like, look, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. It's $50. Do you want it? And they'll be like, yeah, fuck yeah, $50 half sleeve.
Yeah, it's like they're asking for it.
You're like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. You're here for a $50 sleeve. You don't know what the fuck you're doing.
We obviously
let's run it.
Most of the time, these people were fucked up. So I don't even think like I saw really fucked up shit in that shop. Like
it's good
people
though.
come in fighting. People come in with guns, like guns being pulled down on people just sitting there like, I'm just trying to do my job. Like, I just want to make it up alive.
You want a $50 sleeve or what, bro?
I don't, people that will be getting tattoos and owing money to their plug.
Right.
Plug will pull up. What's up?
Yeah.
So the situation will get ugly, and I will just be sitting there like, this is not my business. And I'll just like walk out of here, and they're like, I will try to get up. They'll be like, sit the fuck down.
No, you're right, man. I worked in a shop kind of like that too, and you just said like it's none of my business.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of where I learned my place. Like I don't, it's none of my business. None of my business. Yeah. Wow. You just sparked that memory. You don't know what that's like.
Was that like
you think everything's your business?
The smoke shop days?
Yeah, bro. Like
days?
That's none of my fucking business.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna sit here, wait till they're ready to get a tattoo.
Yeah. I left that shop, went to the other one, and then I went back to the rotary.
Yeah.
And then it just got easier for me.
So you left that shop. You're finally able to use your rotary.
How long were you
machine.
there for?
6 months.
Okay.
It was 6 months of
6
hell.
months of tattooing skin, though.
Oh, that's great, though. I'm so happy you got to go through that. I think it's like really good character building. It sounds like kind of like an apprenticeship. You just started tattooing early.
Well, I was doing that so my parents were not okay with me doing. They were barely okay with me doing the music situation thing because they were like, you have to go to college. Like,
and you were touring, you said, right?
Yeah, but like again, I was leaving. The band that I was in was like no one knew the band. It was like they put us on the little stage like at 2 p.m. when the song was blaring. Like nobody gave a fuck about it.
Right.
So when I told my parents, it was fun.
Yeah.
For the first week.
Right.
We were like, it's like 7 of us in a fucking band.
Yeah.
We're not making any money, but fuck it, this is a life, whatever. But my parents were not about the tattooing situation. My mom kicked me out. She was like, "You get the fuck out of here."
Yeah.
Took my phone away. She specifically packed my bags in trash bags to make sure to make a statement.
Yeah.
How she felt.
Like hefty, durable ones, or the ones that just rip apart.
Just threw my shit on.
She did you
trash
dirty,
bags.
bro.
She didn't give a fuck. She just put them outside. She was like, "Just so you know, you're trash." And so I was homeless at the time.
Yeah.
So I was sleeping in my car in the back of the shop for 6 months.
Yeah.
Until I saved up enough money, and then like I moved in with somebody that offered me a room in their house. So like, My bad.
No, you're good.
So when I look back at these things, like I feel like that was one of the things that motivated me to do better on the tattoo aspect, because like I don't ever want to be in that situation ever again. Like not working with people that like are very professional, and the violence that happened in that shop was stupid.
Right.
But I started just like going into better shops, and then like once I moved to the next shop, I just learned so much like quickly. Like I would just watch, listen, and then just it was encrypted in my brain. Like
yeah. I mean, it sounds like you were kind of in a position where you didn't really have a choice. You're like, yo, I gotta learn this.
No, I was already like in it. I was just like I spent all my money on my equipment.
Right.
Like, I had nothing else to do. I quit the music stuff. I was like, I'm not fucking touring ever again. I'm not doing this.
Right. Everything went into tattooing.
Everything went into tattooing. I was like,
I don't have time to waste, bro. I live behind the shop.
And,
I'm trying to at least live in front of the shop.
Oh man, that was terrible. But I ended up like working in like recognized like shops and whatnot, and learn from like really good artists. Very grateful. How was
that the first time you made it into let's say recognizable shop? Like, what was that like? It was big for me because the guy who owned that shop was somebody that was tattooing the people I looked up to on tour. So like I saw him on tour, and I found out he was like in my same town. And I was just like, that's the gold shop. That's like once I make it there, I'm there. Yeah. And then I made it there. And did you feel like you didn't belong?
A little bit.
Yeah, me too.
Because I was like, I ain't have an apprenticeship. Like I got there and I still felt like my work was ass, even though they were like, yo, you're doing great.
Right.
Yeah. I remember the first week I worked there, they gave me this client that wanted something in her belly.
Yeah.
Skin that's like,
it's like the worst
I don't want to
spot
say it like this, but like fat.
Yeah,
fat.
Yeah.
You know how the lines can get squiggly because of the bouncing of the... I had like a meltdown the first week I worked there, and that was embarrassing for me because I looked up to everybody in that shop.
Yeah.
But eventually, like, they made me feel comfortable enough for like I will ask them questions and like just kind of hover around. I didn't want to be annoying. Yeah. And just be like in there with my eyes like on them, breathing down their necks.
Right. Dude, I remember the first time I got into a recognizable shop. One, I felt like I did not belong. And I was like, they're going to find out I don't fucking belong here, And then, like, you do a tattoo where, like, it's either not top quality, you're disappointed at whatever. Yeah. And there was, I don't know if this happened for you, but there was some point where I'm communicating with the artist there, and they pretty much were like, hey, we all make mistakes. Like, essentially saying, like, hey, I make mistakes too. And I had them on such this high pedestal. I guess I thought they didn't fucking make mistakes ever. Mm. And then, like, opening up and showing me that, like, that honesty, that vulnerability, that was when I was like, all right, make this work, Yeah.
It makes you feel comfortable. Like, you're not so afraid to be like, hey, or to even ask, like, for an advice, because, like, I was there and then, like, I just felt intimidated because they were all full of art, and I felt like the intruder. Right. So once they made me feel like they took me in like their little brother, I still felt like, in a way, like, not good enough to be in that shop because I always looked up to that shop. And then I had an issue with alcohol and they fired me. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I was there for like a year and a half, and I started experiencing, like, I went back into the scene of like the music scene. Yeah. And then a lot of partying and a lot of drinking. So like I just fell back like into a bad like alcohol habit to the point where like I would rather drink and call off my day. Yeah. So like I did that multiple times to a point where they just go, they're like, don't come into the unit.
So it started affecting work.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. But I was there for like a year and a half, and like I'm not gonna deny it, like my ego got stupid big because I worked there. And everyone was like, yo, you work in that shop. Yeah. And I was just like just partying, getting money, and then like not showing up to work. So like
you'd made it.
Yeah.
You're like,
in my head, like my ego got so like huge that I was like, I made it, because I always looked up to that shop that I was acting like a fucking ass. Yeah. So once I got fired there, like it was like a reality check for me, and I was like, all right, you need to get your shit together, stop fucking drinking. But went to another shop, went to 2 other shops, and then I went into the private studio situation I was telling you earlier.
So were you able to put down the drinking?
As of last year, I did.
Nice. Fuck it.
But I'm proud of that because he was anybody that was around me during that period, like they saw how bad he got.
Yeah.
Like, I got to the point where like I almost became homeless again because I was like rent, alcohol,
right.
Alcohol.
Right. And, I mean, it's an obvious choice.
But, you know, like just being late on rent and I was living like downtown Orlando. So it's like it was pricey to have an apartment there and I was just not making the right choices. I mean, like until last year I was having like 1 or 2 drinks. You know, now it's just I just rather not because I feel responsible enough to know that like if I take one, and then it's going to become a habit next week to take the same 2 and then eventually back to blackout, reckless. So I just rather not.
Yeah.
You're just chilling now.
No, 100%, man. And I mean, you know, that's how I am. I'm like an all or nothing kind of person. So it's easier for me to just do nothing. I'll always joke with the guys, you know, because they'll be like, oh, you know, in the beginning, not so much anymore, but they'll be like, hey, come out, drink, you know, do this, do that with us. And I was like, listen, man, that's fine, but none of y'all are getting paid next week if I fucking go out with you, you know?
I'm missing.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, I mean, it's just not worth it. It's not worth the gamble for me.
No.
Because I don't have control.
That's the same in the same case for me. Like once I lose control, it's hard to retain, you know, like get a hold of yourself back. And like I feel like I work so much for like to be where I'm at with like my work, my life, like personal life, my friends, you know, taking care of my family and whatnot, that I'm just like, is it worth it?
Yeah,
Never.
bro, 100%. I mean, I know I used to like get high and drink and all that because I wanted to feel good. You know, I wanted to produce a feeling. I wanted to have fun. You know, I wanted to be accepted. I wanted to not feel like I was left out, all these things. And then, you know, for me through getting clean, you know, tattooing, friendship, like I built all those things. So for me, there's no reason to do that anymore. It would provide no benefit further than I already have in my life. It would just gamble me possibly losing all those things. Mm-hmm. You know, not that you can't do it in a responsible way. You definitely can. We see it, you know, all the time here at the shop. Just for me, it's not worth the gamble. You know, I don't think it'll be fun. But typically, this new thing we've been trying is Cam interviews our guest.
Okay, I seen this
for a job.
All right.
Now, you know, I have to make this clear because I know, like, it's obviously made up because I know you'd never work for Cam. You know, so like I'm not an idiot in that sense. Like I get that, but I think it's hysterical because Cam has done quite a few interviews. A lot of times when we have apprentices come in the shop, he kind of interviews them. I will as well. And we do that because he's not far from the apprenticeship. So it's very like forefront. He knows what's being looked for and I'll also do it. But, so obviously you just got the history.
Yeah.
You know, maybe we'll forget that. Kim's like drinking problems. Red flag. But also to like show people what others might be looking for, to be employed, you know, in the tattoo. I don't know if Cam does a good job of that, but
no. All right. So what's your name?
Lara.
Awesome. What's your Instagram?
Lara's still here.
Cool.
Lara's still here.
Lara's still here. What's your preferred style?
Traditional or black and gray. I love doing those 2 styles. But I'm very well around like a lot of styles. If you look at through my portfolio, black work, realism, color realism, anime now. So
what's your biggest inspiration?
Oh man. Like just in general or
I mean, your favorite artist, favorite style you would maybe prefer to only do.
I look up to this guy, Steve Butcher.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, he's good.
It's just I look at it sometimes I don't even comprehend like the amount of detail and color, the color saturation in it. It's just crazy. I want to go into that style of work. It's called hyperrealism, I think, right? Yeah. But even with color realism that I do now, sometimes I struggle. Like nothing crazy, but like sometimes I find myself like struggling to find the right color palette. for things, because colors are not all like pre-made. Sometimes you have to.
There's so many of them.
Yeah,
there's millions.
But yeah, down that route.
Why are you always looking over there?
I know. I feel like I have like the questions of the interview. Like
you gotta get in the mindset. He's trying to work for you, bro. What do you want from someone?
Why should we hire you?
Oh, I don't even know.
What do you bring to the table?
There you go. There's your real question.
Okay, I can answer that. I'm pretty committed to everything I do. Like, just not just tattooing. Like, if I'm doing something, given the time of the day, it has to be like, I have to make sure that people look at it and be like, oh, Lara did that. Like, just 110, 120%. I don't like half-assing things, like, ever. So
That's good.
I think that's a pretty good reason, maybe. Yeah. If not, then, you can just kick me out.
Blade of grass. Do you have any questions?
Dude, we're gonna have to practice.
Yeah, I suck at interviewing. Yo, I've had like 2 interviews in my whole life.
Would you hire him?
Yeah.
You don't have to hurt my feelings. You can say no.
I've heard worse backstories.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, so typically with an interview, I think the first thing we look at is quality of work, right?
Mm-hmm.
What else?
Character.
Sure. What else? You're missing the most important one.
I'm trying to think. I don't even know.
Cleanliness.
Yeah, cleanliness.
I feel like that's part of the job, though.
Yeah.
You have to be clean.
Back in the day when I would work at some shops, part of the interview was I would come in and do a setup and a breakdown.
I seen that.
And
I
like
seen
kind
that
of
in a lot of shops.
walk through kind of the sterile process, which we don't really do that anymore. A lot of times, like if the work's there and whatever they start, typically we'll do a guest spot, like
Just try it out.
But I'm like watching them, and I'm trying to watch them without them knowing I'm watching.
You just kind of
to see, or I look at the cameras, whatever. But because I want to know that stuff, and it's something that has to be perfect. The cross contamination factor.
Yeah.
Obviously, getting along with others. So you said you're at a private studio right now, right?
No, not anymore. I'm in a shop. I'm in a shop, but I left the private studio because I felt it was lonely as fuck.
Yeah.
Like I feel like as an artist, like I kind of feed off other people's
Sure.
art, and like especially with tattooing, like I feel like you're always learning like techniques, equipment, just everything in general. So like I feel like I got like stuck. Like I was doing good work, but not progressing.
Right.
Like, I was just like I was there for like 6 months, and those 6 months I will compared to when I was in a shop, I will constantly progress, and in the private studio I was just like. Just a little bit.
It seems to happen to a lot of people too. It's like, and you notice it. It's like they'll be in a shop, do good work, and then they go private, and it just kind of goes stagnant.
Yeah.
And it's like then you see them hop back into a shop, and you see like almost like their tattoos have a new life to them, or like And I see it. It's like visual.
I'll get hesitant about people wanting to come here from a private studio.
Yeah.
Not in the sense that I think they're going to be bad or anything, just in the sense that like I'm going to keep my eye on them because they haven't worked with others in a while, And I think a lot of times it ends up being a really good thing. Like they're back in day 1, day 2, and they're like, "Oh, this is great. I miss this like group aspect," and it's awesome. But then you run into like some problems, maybe people like touch their station or move their shit, and they're a little bit more sensitive towards others. Yeah. Did you experience anything like that going back into a shop with a group?
No. I'm friendly with everybody. Like I like to joke around. I like when people ask me questions because I feel like I'm not so far behind. I feel like I can teach something to somebody which I didn't have.
Right.
And like so I can share some knowledge even though it's like I do decent work now, but when people ask me, I still have that like in the back of my head. I'm like, you didn't have an apprentice, you shouldn't be saying shit.
Yeah.
So I still try to help in whichever way I can, but I do like being around other people because like the moment you take a break from tattooing, you can just kind of reset your brain by like either going to interact with somebody else or just kind of just fuck off for a little bit and like, you're not stuck in a room with the client.
Yeah.
Because some clients can be a little.
I was about to say, if you're in like private studio and you have like a weird client that day, you're like stuck with that weird client.
I had some weird clients in the private
studio. So
you
would just be alone with that client? No like manager, like assistant or anything?
I was running everything. Yeah. It was just like, and if they talk, man, it's not like you can be like, oh.
Right, like dish it off to someone else.
Yeah, nah, it wasn't like that. So it was just...
and how long did you do that?
Like 6 months, 7 months, yeah. And I got sick of it. I was like, I need to.
What do you go, like rent a place?
Yeah, just like a little studio. It was inside a business.
Yeah.
And they had like 34 studios.
Yeah.
And then you have double studios and a single studio, but it was like from that wall to here, and then just like a square.
Gotcha.
With a sliding door, and you just walk in. I just have my chair, my station, and whatever the health department needs for you to pass the check.
Simple setup.
Yeah. A lot of people are doing it.
Yeah.
Because you profit a lot. You keep all your money, and you pay like $200-$300 a week, which is, if you're doing like thousands of dollars a week on tattoos, like you're not losing half of it or like 40% of it.
So that I get. Staying there forever, I don't really understand.
I wouldn't do it.
You know what I mean? I don't know. Like I always think like we're luxury. Tattoos are a luxury item. Tattoos, are retail. Tattoos are a business front. And I think about all the places that like I'll shop or in my eyes are successful in that style of business. And I think there's something to be said about like a nice presentation. And I think that's hard to give in like a small private studio.
My studio was like blank.
Yeah.
There was no art on the walls. Like if somebody walked in, we'd be like, what the fuck is this? Like,
does that make sense what I'm saying though? Yeah. It almost feels like a convention setup kind of, or like a temporary or a pop-up. It feels
temporary.
I just like the idea of, especially artists of your caliber or a lot of these artists out there, like you have this name, you're building this clientele, you should have like a shop, and that shop should represent you and like the artists in it and the team and the family, which should be like a nice big presentation.
Yeah.
Or it doesn't even have to be big, but like a nice quality, you take time to decorate, like that whole presentation factor.
I had clients that would come in the little studio and be like, what the fuck are you doing here? I had clients that would be like, yo, I can invest and open you a shop.
I'm keeping all my money. And I'm like, that's what I'm doing here.
I was like, I'm just giving all my money, and I just don't really care to, because at the time I was just like, I didn't feel like responsible enough to run a shop, because you're an owner, you know how much like of a, I don't want to say headache, but like responsibility that is. Yeah. But I didn't feel responsible enough to do that. Like I didn't want to open up a business, throw all this money in it, and then run it into the ground, and then eventually just put myself in a situation where I didn't even want to open up a shop.
Yeah.
So now when I feel ready at this moment, that's why I'm like doing what I'm doing. So.
Yeah, because you're opening a shop.
Yeah.
Do we have a name?
No.
Okay. No
I feel like it's very hard. I don't know. I wouldn't even know. It was the shop idea has been there for a minute.
Yeah.
And I just didn't feel comfortable enough before, but now I feel like I have my life together, and my mindset is like where it needs to be like an owner and also like a leader.
Yeah.
So be able to help the people that work under me and make sure that everybody's is good, the business is good, the art is good.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm ready for that. So, but the name,
right,
that's the hard part.
Yeah, I thought about a couple names, and then like in my head they sound good. I think I say it out loud, and I'm like, that's corny as fuck.
Yeah.
So,
there's a lot that goes into it, and I don't know. I mean, based off talking to you even before the podcast, like, I think you're right where you need to be. I think it's going to be a good experience for you. I think it's going to be fun. If I could like give advice to myself, like before opening Borrowed Time, it would be slow down.
Okay.
It would be, you're going to make mistakes, and that's fine. Just try not to make the same mistake. Try to make new mistakes. You know what I mean?
So you can learn from.
Yeah, because it's going to happen. And sometimes we put too much pressure on ourselves about doing it. It sounds like you understand one of the most important parts, which is being a leader, and that there's a responsibility that comes. Yeah, every person that you hire in the door, like you've just accepted responsibility on a couple things. The fact that you're providing a job for them. You know, if you are a walk-in shop, that you have to decide what kind of owner do you want to be. Do you want to be like an absent owner? Do you want to be someone that provides clientele, that's here to build artists and have them grow? And you can redefine those things. You know, like I know in the beginning I was terrified to be a business owner, not a tattooer, but like a business owner. Like I didn't want to do like accounting and like fucking marketing and all that numbers. Stuff. Yeah, so in my first year, I just didn't do any of those things because I was like intimidated. I was like, I don't know how to do this. Like I'm young, I didn't go to school. Like what if I'm bad? What if I try and they see how fucking bad I am at this, you know?
That's scary. It's a scary idea to deal with.
You have to try, though.
I mean, you won't know unless you try.
Right.
Which is how I ended up tattooing too. Yeah. So I'm excited for it.
Right.
I think I'm ready.
And you just slowly build. So like we're building a new shop right now, and like even
I saw that. Congratulations on that. I saw that on the other podcast. My bad.
Yeah. Thank you.
It's been slow though.
Yeah, I mean, and you gotta be okay with that because I wanted it open like fucking months ago. I
feel that.
Yeah, but it's just like it's slow build, and like you get in, it's like when you move, it's gonna kind of be an empty space. You start decorating, you start moving, you start working there. You get the flow in. You start to realize like, I need one of these. I need this. This is in the wrong place. This is in the right place. And it's just part of the process. You know, I have trouble being patient with myself. I want it like, the day we open, it's fucking done. Everything's there, whatever. It's just not realistic. This place has changed so many times. When we opened, it was a private studio, and then we kept getting the walk-in people, and I was like, whatever, let's make it a walk-in shop. Okay. We changed the decorations like every year. Artists will get busy and just start putting stuff up. We didn't have piercing, then we did have piercing. We had merch, then we didn't have merch. Now we have new merch again. Like you just keep adding and building, but it's fun, man. And like you get to be a huge part of the deciding factors of the flow of the shop.
I feel like a shop is like a baby.
Yeah,
you just gotta take care of it and just grow it too. You don't take care of it, it turns out to be not as good of a child.
Right, and it goes to jail, and you got to visit it on the holidays.
Just bail it out.
Right.
Throw money in it to fix it.
Gets a bunch of tattoos and piercings and joins a band.
Me.
Yeah. Cam, do you have any cool tattoo shop name ideas?
That'd be funny if he says something and I'll just name the shop with that.
If you had
I hadn't thought about it.
I feel like we say that at least once a week. Like, yo, that's a sick fucking shop name.
Yeah, it would be.
You gotta write these things down. It's like naming a band.
I never named a band. Any project that I was in, no, I never did.
Tomb Raider tats.
Is that what you call it?
You're talking about Tomb Raider.
Laura Crafts.
Ooh,
that's funny.
Laura Craft
tattoos.
I wanted to be like something. I wanted to be something
what do you think?
I don't even know how to put it. Like an art gallery name, like very like not bougie,
like fine art. Almost,
yeah, like something that like people
like a single word.
Yeah,
right. Everyone does like black something. You know what I mean?
Like black oak, black craft, black dagger. It's just like something.
Black.
Why hasn't anyone done black
tattoos?
Black tattoos.
Black ink.
Noir, black.
I like that.
You could use, another language. Just saying.
I worked in 2 shops that were named like black something, like black calavera and then black cold. I was they're pretty common. So
I mean, it's a very cool concept. Just it's so cool. Everyone did it.
Yeah, like black hand, black. Yeah, there's just a lot of them.
Right. What about white or red?
I like white.
Gray.
Nolan Gray tattoo shop.
Gray Studios.
I'm not creative with names, so
yeah, me neither.
My girl picked up the name for a little girl.
Dude, I can't even write an Instagram caption, let alone pick a name for a shop.
Yeah, Cam would just call it Cam Fonte Tattoo Shop.
Tattoo shop.
Yeah. Speaking of babies, you just had one.
Yeah, last
Congratulations.
week.
Congratulations,
So
man.
Thanks, man. I really
So you said, how was naming the baby?
I had nothing to do with it. My girl had a few names, and I was just like, eh. And then she said one, like the two names together, and then I just fell in love with it. I felt like it was the name for it. And then the day I met the baby, which I told you about the hard situation I had.
You're like, oh, nice to
had.
meet you, baby.
I was about to have a heart attack when they gave me the baby. I was like, oh my God.
Wow, the shirt is actually really nice. If you haven't already, you need to check out themodelcitizenapparel.com. It has the best tattoo clothing I've ever seen. And I'm quite a critic when it comes to fashion, clothing, whatever. The design has to be cool and the material has to be comfortable, at least form-fitting. They have a range of styles from vintage to modern. They're continuing to work with new artists featuring new designs and articles of clothing. You need to check out this company, themodelcitizenapparel.com, or you can check out their social media, which is Model Citizen Apparel. It's the best.
That's funny.
And that was weeks ago, you said, right?
Last week.
Wow.
Yeah. Just like a week and 8 days. Like a 8
Damn,
days.
1 week, Cam's already dropping babies.
You're not planning on having babies, are you?
Nope.
I think that's illegal, dude. Child. So, new baby, new shop, lots happening.
Yeah.
Good year, huh?
Awesome. The shop and the baby situation has got me a little stressed out because it's very time consuming. Like,
Sure.
I mean, like yesterday I was pretty nervous. I never done a podcast before, so
Sure.
being able to do this for the first time is even like a big thing for me. Again, I'm like, I was outside in the crowd, I was like fangirling. I was like, oh. But
It's all good stress, though.
Yeah,
You
it's
could be
not
stressing
like a
out.
bad thing.
Yeah.
But last night I was excited about being here, and then by the time I fell asleep, the baby woke me up like 20 minutes after. So in between the drive here and the baby and then being excited, like I got like 2 hours sleep. Yeah. And I was like,
and you still beat Cam here.
Yeah. Yeah, and you still beat Cam here. Dude, I hear you. I mean, I feel like a lot of times when I have a lot going on, like you do, a lot of good things happen too. And it's almost like, damn, why couldn't these good things happen when I had like more time to like appreciate or be involved with them?
Yeah.
But it is something to be said and to be grateful for. Like a lot of new opportunities, a lot of, responsibilities, and with that comes stress. But I'm sure. But yeah, it sounds like there's all amazing things happening.
It's great. I'm not unhappy in any mean. Like I just feel like up to this point in my life, like I had to go through everything to develop to the type of person I'm now in order to take care of, everything that's happening now. So I feel like everything is falling into place at the right time. I feel like whatever it's out there, like the universe or whatever, you set me up to this specific point and got me ready.
Yeah.
I'm stressed out, not in a bad way, but yeah, I'm very happy.
Are you stressed, Cam? Are you stressed about anything?
Always.
Yeah, I was chilling with your mom yesterday.
I know, she told me.
Shit, like that?
My mom goes, yo, guess who I saw yesterday at work? I was like, who? She's like, John and Dev.
That's right.
Where's your mom working again?
Bloomingdale's.
Bloomingdale's.
You in that couch or what?
Damn, he already knows. He knows.
Damn.
Yo,
When we were talking about family, I thought of family, and then I thought of Cam's mom.
He bumped into my mom at work yesterday.
Yeah.
So he ditched me and Adrian to go shopping.
Hell yeah.
For couches.
You guys were holding it down at the shop? I mean, at the convention?
Oh, yeah, we missed you, too.
Yeah. I missed
I know you had stuff going on, but.
Honestly, I felt like shit yesterday.
The other day, you looked pretty. You were tired as hell.
Yo, we've been nonstop for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Well, we haven't had a day off yet.
Well, I don't have time to be sick, and I'll get like anxiety if I start to feel. I had like a head cold. It might have been from like traveling and like the climate change and stuff.
Climate change killed me.
But I'll become this like psychopath person. Like I woke up, I'm eating like garlic and like lemon and like
ginger shots and
making
shit.
sure you don't get sick.
Yeah, I have all these like detox products in my house. So I take that. I'll go to the sauna. I'll just sit there till I pass out. And then like the whole, because I'm like, yo, I can't like.
Can't
cool.
miss.
Today's my one day to be sick. Like, let's get it all out, you know? And then, but it's also my one day to like do stuff in my personal life. And we were traveling last week, so I haven't had, there've been a couple weeks where I haven't had a chance to do that.
Sit down and chill.
Yeah. And my girl's like, you know, we wants a new couch or whatever. So I was like, let's, you know, go look. So, yeah, we wanted to go to this store, and the closest one is
Aventura.
Yeah, in Aventura,
At least
which
the good one,
bro. And it's like
it's still not that.
it's
good.
like shit traffic, and
That mall's the worst mall.
bro, yeah, and the mall sucks.
Yo, it's
dude.
like
Aventura Mall?
Aventura is
like a
so
mall?
bad.
like for products, it's awesome.
Yeah, 'cause they have
It's
everything.
nice there.
They have
Right,
everything.
right? The mall itself's nice. The people, it's like the land of fake believe. They're just like terrible people.
Yeah.
And like I feel like when I'm around those people, I get these like disease worms like
Yo,
in my
like,
head.
That's like the mall where it's like dogs and baby strollers.
Yeah, it's just AIDS,
Yeah.
dude.
And
And
baby
like
dog strollers. Seen that shit too.
No, it's like dogs in baby strollers. There's no babies there. It's just dogs in baby
it's a real
strollers.
bad place to be
Yeah.
around. But so like I'm like about to leave Fort Lauderdale to drive down, and I'm just like, what are you doing?
Why am
Like
I
turn around, go home.
Go to Boca.
But it was like the only time we could get it done, and like, you know, we want to get a nice couch, so I don't want to just like order it. Like I want, you know, everyone
sit
to
in
like
it.
sit in it and feel it.
Test it out.
Yeah, and I want to measure it and get the dimensions
Yeah.
right and whatever. So yeah, we went to the mall. That couch is fire. So-
Do you buy
get
it?
no. I have this.
No, dude,
I have,
my mom's gonna get him 20% off. He's gonna wait.
well, yeah, but also like
Sit on a $10,000 couch.
I have this rule that like if I want something that's like expensive or a big purchase,
Yeah.
I'll make a decision day. Like, cool, yeah, this is the couch I want. Starting on that day, I start saving for the product.
Okay.
And then once I have enough, then
That's
I buy
smart.
it. Yeah.
You don't have to touch your money.
Dude, listen, I have a disease brain that comes from, you know, drug addiction and using, so I have to like set up all these like boundaries for
You
myself.
have
or
to
I'll
have
just,
self-control.
yeah, if that wasn't there, I would just be like a
You have to
person
like
in
meet
poverty.
all the parameters before
Yeah,
you
dude,
yeah.
yeah. But
I
yeah,
had a spending issue for a little bit. I had to. Not me. My girl had to. She's the one that's like, hey, no. Because
Yeah.
I see anything, I'm like, I want to buy that. She's like, no.
what about
It's not.
Amazon, the place of
it's
death
so
by 1,000
true.
cuts,
I don't have
dude?
it. I don't have it in my phone. It's
Yeah.
That's smart.
danger for me.
I think I should
Yeah.
uninstall it.
No.
Dude, you order shit in your sleep.
I'm an active sleeper, meaning like
He
there's
buys
a
shit
whole
in his
nother
sleep.
world
Yeah,
that
bro.
goes on when I'm asleep, and I'll buy stuff in my sleep,
He's
like
just
weird
swiping
shit,
place
like
order.
batteries and fucking like
Flashlights
Sometimes I
and
need
shit.
it, like coffee pods. I'm like, oh,
I mean, if it's stuff that you
Subconsciously.
need,
Yeah.
If it's stuff that you need, there's nothing wrong with that. But if you have expensive taste and it's your shit you don't need, but you just want,
yeah.
that's the problem.
No, but like it's like sleepwalking, but like I won't remember in the morning. It's weird.
It
Are
just
you, like,
shows
half
up.
asleep and you
Yeah, I do weird shit. I like sit up and walk around and, you know, like, yeah, you seen Step Brothers? No.
You have cameras
That's a
in your
deal
house?
breaker, bro. If a girl did that shit, I don't know if I could be around it.
No, I don't have cameras like in the house.
There's this girl on TikTok and she like posts this shit she does.
Oh, I see. She sleepwalks, like, yo,
my God.
You think it's real? I've seen the same.
Yo,
one.
she
You think it's
re-
real?
That's what I was just
Bro,
gonna
she-
ask.
did you see the
People-
one where she
people-
reorganized the refrigerator in her sleep?
Yeah. Yo, her man just be laying in bed looking at her like, seriously, like again. And
Yeah.
I'm just like, I try to think like how I would react in that situation. If I woke up in the middle of the night, she was doing some weird shit.
Yo, just sitting up.
Headlock.
I'd be like,
Yo.
what the fuck?
Boom.
Well, like,
Because you're not
Go
supposed
back
to
to
wake them.
yeah, that's right. You're not supposed to wake up.
Yeah.
No, you're not.
Some ibuprofen.
They go into this whole fight or flight thing.
You okay?
My back's fucked up. I was probably doing weird sleep stuff last night. I've been like trying to fucking adjust the whole.
I'll be terrified, like not even of the person who's sleepwalking. I'll be terrified of myself because when I wake up in the middle of the night, like if my dogs are barking or I hear any random noise, I instantly reach out for my gun.
Yeah.
It's just like, who's there?
Right.
You
And
gotta
if it's
remember
like
you
you,
have
you're like,
You got a kid now, man. So when it makes a noise, oh shit.
dude, I have a lot of stairs in my house, so that's like what kind of makes me nervous.
And they're steep.
Yeah, I have like dog gates.
Do
that
you
help.
have you have carpet on them?
No.
Oh,
it's like nope. It's like I don't even know.
It's like you slip off of one, you're dead.
It's like rock floor. It's not marble, but it's kind of like that.
Rock.
I would be terrified.
Yeah. Chris met the fate of those stairs.
But yeah, I was walking in Bloomingdale's and I hear someone like yelling my name. And I thought I was hearing stuff. I was like, oh.
My mom's fucking animated, high-pitched voice. It's
yeah. I thought I was losing it because whatever, it didn't feel good. But then it was a nice surprise to see that it was a real person.
You hear voices in your head?
Yeah. What's that?
Do you hear voices?
Yeah, dude. Like when I'm driving on the highway, if I'm in like the left lane, it's like turn into the center median. That's like the voices in my head.
Dude,
drive on the other side.
The test for 911, you have to take the psychological, and they fuck up they turn all the questions around. So they had a question that said, in times of need, do you seek other voices for advice? What would you put?
It depends.
In times of need?
Would you seek other voices for advice?
The way they word it to make you sound crazy.
Yeah. What would you put?
I would call my mother.
Like I would call my boy. I'd be like, this was a bad question.
Yeah. So I had to, after they did like the evaluation, they like said, all right, so you have voices in your head. I'm like, what are you talking about? You put that you seek other voices in times of need.
You're like, are you kidding me?
You're making
when I have my AirPods on.
They're like, no, you have to have a psychological thing now. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Shit.
They tripped you on that one.
They did.
Yeah, nah.
Yeah, it was a trick question.
Dude, like the second question was, do you ever lie? I'm like, it's a trick question.
No. With a question mark?
It's for the county, dude. I put maybe.
It's situational.
Yeah.
It depends.
You just write that on every answer.
Dude, you'll have the same question written down in 4 different ways. Yeah. That's how they try to get you. See if there's...
So you know how there's like a conscience, right? It's like the good voice in your head. There's also the bad voice, right?
Yes.
My bad voice is just really loud.
Way louder.
Yeah. Sometimes I don't even think the good one's there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that turn into the
Bad
center
voice
median.
is just like holding them down.
I feel like if there's ever like a situation, and it could be like so inappropriate, it almost feels like I don't have control over it, but it's there, bro. You know what I mean? Like especially at funerals.
Oh.
Right? Am I alone on this one?
No, I don't.
Am I the only one that's been kicked out of a funeral?
I haven't been to one in so long.
Wait. I was drunk and they were like, you need to get the fuck out.
Yeah.
It's just the blood of Christ.
Yeah.
I went up twice.
Yeah, like but it's just like there. And when I was like a kid, I would listen to it, and now I don't listen to it as much. But yeah, like with the funeral, like I was at a funeral, like my buddy's funeral, and I was like going back, like, should I tell this story? This makes me look bad. Whatever. Yeah, I'll fucking tell the story. So at my boy's funeral, and like he killed himself over a chick, you know, or like he got his heart broken, and he ended up
couldn't handle it.
Yeah, he couldn't handle it or whatever. So like we're there, and I'm like sad, like this is my fucking boy, and then the voice starts coming, and it's like, make a joke to your friends.
No.
And I'm like, not now, you know? And so we're like going and all this stuff, and like my one boy's, and it's almost like the more inappropriate it gets, the louder the voice is. And my boy's like next to me tearing up, and he's like, oh, I miss him so much. Like, it's so fucked up. And as soon as that like tear came down his face, the voice is like, no, you know? Yeah. So I like look at him and I'm like, you know, who is the chick, you know? And he's like, who is this person? And I'm like, I mean, she's like hot, but not like kill yourself, you know, or whatever. And that's like where it started. And then like I feel like once I listened to the voice, it just like controls.
The gate was up,
yeah. And they're like, you have to leave.
I feel like it's bad when you make like a joke in a bad situation. It's not your voice that gets louder. It's just specifically in that moment, everything goes quiet, just by coincidence, and then everybody hears you and turns around, just like.
But and then what happens in those situations where like you were wildly inappropriate and like no one laughed? That in itself becomes a great joke story. You're like, wow, when this is over and I don't feel like a fucking asshole, I can't wait to tell my friends about this, you know? Yeah, and then everyone was silent. And like it's funny. And it just, you can recycle it and it just keeps going on.
I did that here.
What?
Dizzy's thing. I said something, and like the music stopped immediately as I was saying it. I was like,
I heard some. I heard some good Dizzy ones from everyone.
that's how we deal with,
Yeah.
with death.
Do you have that bad voice in your head?
Yeah.
What does it tell you?
It's called Victoria.
Be late to work.
There's another 10 minutes. There was traffic.
There's not that much traffic. That's the bad voice in my head's like, yo, you have 5 minutes. The traffic's not going to be bad today.
Do you ever do the math in your head, like in bed? You're like, well, if I leave now, it's like
Be on time.
I do that shit at night. Like, I'm like, all right, it's 3 o'clock, so 3 to 4, 4 to 5. I start counting down.
I don't have enough hours left.
Do you ever have that bad voice at work or while you're tattooing?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What does it sound like?
I mean, it depends what I'm tattooing, because sometimes some bad clients you just wanna speak out, but you're just like, this is gonna ruin their fucking life if you say it.
I get the bad voice when I'm doing like solid black.
What does a bad voice say?
It's like, make this go quicker. You're like, turn the machine up,
Oh.
stick the needle out farther. You're like, speed this up. That's the bad voice.
Yeah, like it looks good enough.
Yeah.
Just call it a day.
Just speed.
Do you
it.
turn around?
tired.
Adrian's over your shoulder saying it all.
Hurry up.
What else does the bad voice say?
Make them top out when they're annoying.
What?
Make them top out.
Oh,
when
that's
they're
good.
annoying.
Make it hurt.
Yeah. But I don't
Go
actually
deeper.
do it, but there's been some times when I'm just like,
Yeah, same.
like I just really wanna. But they say some really ignorant shit, and then
Well, not every client deserves back teen.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to make the tattoo hurt, but you could make it not as like good of a time. Like, I'm not
Enjoyable.
gonna physically make it hurt more, but I'm not gonna like. You're not getting back teen.
do you guys use like numbing agents?
Yeah, I
Yeah, sometimes.
like back
Yeah.
teen after the.
You guys
what,
use like
numbing cream?
Lidocaine?
Vasecaine?
Yeah.
We have like a before tattoo numb that's like tetracaine.
The bad voice in my head tells me not to tell certain clients I have that shit.
Oh, that's a
Oh,
good one.
yeah.
It's like they'll be like,
Yeah,
this
that-
shit is hurting, and I'm just like,
And the good side, the good side's like,
take
yo,
a
it's
vaccine,
$50.
Yeah. Mine will be like, take a long break, right?
And
You
when you
come
come
back
back,
and
hop
you-
into the spot. You
Make
just
fun of
finished.
Logan's leg.
oh man.
Listen, dude. Yeah, every fucking hour, bro. That's actually the only thing my voice says. Make fun of everyone.
Has he ever hit you with it?
What?
Has he ever hit you with it?
No, but
It's going to happen.
I feel like.
yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
what?
yeah. If Logan's bad, we take away his leg privileges.
Yeah. I still try to find things to talk shit about. But I can't, so you go back to the leg.
You know?
Yeah, you just can't see
You know what I
anything but his
noticed,
leg.
Logan, about the leg is obviously it happened from being on a motorcycle. Tell me if you've also noticed this. If I like bring that up to like someone else in the shop that like rides bikes, it's almost like they automatically assume that you know more than them. Like you're the senior person of bikes. Even if they've been riding way longer, they're like through the rough. They're like, well, I haven't biked that hard. Have you noticed that too, though, with the mic?
What you crash on? Like what bike? I crashed my R1.
Tell your story.
I have a metal plate with 12 screws. I was out of tattooing for a while. Then spine surgery and knee surgery from that same accident.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So when he said that, I was just like, I feel you.
I need to tell you about Allegory's new Ultra Black. This stuff is dark, maybe even darker than my childhood. It is amazing for lining, shading, and even blackouts. And I know a thing or two about blacking out. You got to check this stuff out on allegoryinc.com. Use discount code unemployable for 20% off. Check out their new Ultra Black and use discount code unemployable for 20% off.
It's just straight goes into every traumatic accident they've ever had, bike related, family related, whatever. It just spirals, and I'm like,
I lost a fucking
I'm
leg.
like, I
Shut up.
That's crazy. Like I could really relate to because I ran out of gas one time and yeah.
Yeah, and
I hit a turtle.
and it's funny because it's like, dude, you asked me, I'm not like blaring my story at you. Like I'm okay, cool. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
What do you want me to say from here?
Yeah. Sorry you ran out of gas.
Go? Yeah.
Anyway.
You should change it up. Have a different story.
I do every time someone asks.
Shark
Like
Attack,
if I don't have to
Shark
actually
Attack?
like have a
That's what I would
long
say.
conversation with you, I won't. There's no point in me telling you the real story.
I would
Yeah.
go like with every day, just a different.
Yeah,
Until I
like,
run out.
I've had people like
Yeah. Fucking
had-
chainsaw. Somebody chainsawed it off in the woods.
Yeah,
I
like-
had to run for my life.
What's your crazy client story? Do you have one?
I haven't had anything like 2 hours.
You're so fucking boring. Do you have a crazy client story?
I mean, I had people pass out and shit themselves. I had this guy got caught cheating by his wife, and she had him get his her name tattooed on his dick.
Yo, I've seen shit like that.
Damn.
Yeah.
Like now or even it's like that's gonna
guy's
stop
part of
him
Ashley
from
Madison.
So
cheating.
that guy later on had to black out his whole like shaft
Damn.
because she is still like divorced. So
Wasn't
shit.
enough.
Yeah, I was like, damn.
Wait, so he
Good.
blacked out the whole dick?
Yeah, it's black.
Not the whole, just like the
The shaft?
shaft.
Yeah,
Damn, can we do that to Adrian? Was he circumcised?
I don't want to talk about it.
Yo, I've seen that though a lot. Like jealous people, not just women, coming in and like it almost seems like they're forcing their significant other to get their name.
to get branded.
the other- the other dude's
that's maybe
like,
like a tattoo.
Bro, like
It's
that's
you're
gonna-
my property now.
Like that's gonna stop anything, bro.
Nah, they still want to do whatever.
You know, it's funny when I see couples doing that shit. The guy always has a second design. He's like, or we
Yeah.
can get this.
Yeah.
And he's like,
Like if you want
Or-
like more like a metaphor or something, you
Yeah.
know? Like a heart.
Are you doing a matching like king and queen tat?
And they're like, no, I want the name. And he's
Those
like,
are
no,
the
that's what I
songs.
figured. Everyone likes options, you know?
He's trying to blow himself out of it.
Yeah.
like, no, I don't want that. I want
Is it-
Dude, way when the shop started, I had this client come in, and we were like sitting down doing a consultation, and she was drunk, which I didn't realize until like halfway through. And I kind of realized she was drunk, and I was like, this is kind of pointless. I'm going to have her come back when she's sober to like really do a consultation. And I like wasn't saying what. You're so fucking dumb. You're so dumb, Kyla. It was you.
We literally just watched you.
Oh, now you believe me.
After, okay.
We're so sorry about that.
I don't give a fuck.
That
I just thought it was
it's just-
fucking
yeah,
hilarious. This is on YouTube.
Rudely interrupted. Anyway,
So what happened
speaking
with
of
the
drunk
drunk?
girls.
Okay.
Yeah, we have one off camera, by the way.
So I was saying stuff that like wasn't a joke. I don't even think it was funny. And she was like laughing. Do you know what I mean? Does that make sense? When I'm, like,
Yeah. People
Like,
use
you're
laugh.
just saying normal shit.
Yeah, I'm like,
I'll
oh,
see you
this,
next
like this is a
Tuesday.
cool design. Like this is gonna be good. And she's like, you're so funny, you know. And I'm like, well, I am funny, but I'm
Wasted.
not being funny right now. Yeah. So it like keeps going on, and like she's just laughing, and she's drunk, and like we're having a good time, I guess. Like it's not weird. So I'm like, whatever. Like since she's fucking laughing, I guess I'll throw out like an actual joke.
Yeah.
So this
She
isn't
can
just
actually
like
laugh.
right. And it
you're
wasn't.
so
I don't
fucking
remember what it
laughing,
was,
bro.
but anyway, we're talking and this, and I'm like, throwing a joke, and she's like, laughing, haha, grabs my knee. I'm like, weird. Then we make eye contact. She stops laughing and just slides her hand right into my dick. And then has this like serious stare, almost like a challenge. Like, this your move.
Are you gonna pull away?
And I was like, what?
Checkmate.
No pull away. I'm like, iPad here. I
grab
like
on.
lift the iPad so I can see what's happening. I look back at her to make sure she's crazy.
Eye
She
contact
is.
locked in.
Yeah. And then I just kind of like move her hand, and she's like, and I'm like, that's inappropriate, you know? And we just kind of like And then I tried to go on with the consultation as if I wasn't just sexually assaulted, you know? And we finished and like whatever. I actually ended up just like tattooing her.
So you finished.
Yeah, and I was like, this is fucking wild, dude. All right. In closing, you want to thank our wonderful guest for coming? Do you understand what he did to come here?
4-hour drive, probably.
In the morning.
Yeah. What time did you leave this morning?
I left at like 4. Yeah.
Thank you.
Cam fell asleep at 4.
I was going to bed at 4.
Probably.
And you were late.
3:30. I think I went to bed.
What do you live? 20 minutes from the shop?
No.
20,
35.
like 22, bro.
35.
And what do you live? Like 4 hours?
17 schools.
I mean, there was traffic. It's technically 3 hours, but there was traffic. I was like concerned because he said be here like by 9, and I was like, with my luck, I'll probably hit traffic, so I have to leave at 4. And
That's wild. Thank you so much for doing that.
I'm
And a
super
baby,
excited.
a new
And a
baby,
newborn.
and
I
a
was
new
super
shop.
excited
In a
to
shop.
You fucking played Fortnite till 3 in the morning, and you're
Are you
fucking
even good
late.
at it? Are you good at Fortnite?
I'm pretty good.
All right, man. You can flex it.
And you're bragging.
Well, at least it's not going to nothing. I mean, it is,
You can get
but
away with it.
Yeah,
Boy
at
was
least it's
catching
not going to
dubs.
nothing.
catching dubs out here.
All right. Well, yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having
coming
me,
on.
man. It's an honor.
Thank you, man.
Not leaving me here alone with the Fortnite King.
Oh man.
You want to give us a sign out?
Lara, thank you again for joining us, man. We really appreciate it. It was a pleasure to have you on. Thank you guys for tuning in to this episode of Unemployable. See you next week.
How do you think that sign off was?
It's pretty cam-like.
Yeah, it sucked. Yeah. I mean, well, we definitely want to thank everyone for joining us. Keep an eye out for Lara's new shop that doesn't have a name, but
have a name
it
yet.
probably will eventually. Thankfully, his newborn baby does have a name. It's a really beautiful name.
Name
So
the shop
I-
after the baby.
Could
That's
you-
a very Ecuadorian thing to do.
Oh, you're not gonna break up with the baby, so you're fine.
Yeah, way to suggest that
I mean,
an
I might- I
Ecuadorian
don't
thing
know.
to do.
Nice.
The waste of my
And possibly Cam will get better at the sign-offs. And thank you guys.
Maybe one
And
day.
interviewing.
Yeah.
Oh, we should talk about the Patreon.
What? Oh, yeah. And for those of you that don't know, we started a Patreon. You need to check it out. I don't want to tell you that much about it because
Secretive.
it's not really secretive. It's just we kind of get wild on the Patreon. I don't want to get
Exclusive
into
content.
much. Yeah, I don't want
We're
this
gonna make a big
channel to get
announcement,
banned.
exclusive content.
Exclusive
Very
content,
Content.
real talk. It's another thing that doesn't really have a name. It's a podcast with many names.
Yeah.
But yeah, we want to thank everyone for the support on Patreon. That's what helps make all this possible. If you don't know about it, check it out. What do they look for? John Nelson.
Yep.
John Nelson tattoos on Patreon. You might have heard it's called Shop Talk, Aftermath, Unpostable. There's a bunch of names going around.
We'll include the link in the bio.
Link in bio. Cool.
Link in bio.
Good
All
job.
links in bio.
All right.
What if we did that thing where it's like the noise is shut off and we're like
Like
Just like music playing, like